good to go then. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of Grumpy's Gaming Garage. I am your host, CJ Baker. You can find me on Tumblr and Discord at Grumpy Kerber. That information is in the description. And today I'm finishing Darkstone. And I'll start right out of the gate by saying that I'm probably not going to provide a lot of commentary this week, because I still got 3 crystals yet I gotta get, and we're gonna fight the dragon. But I'm gonna come back in certain parts. A good chunk of it, I'm just gonna focus on getting the crystals, getting the rest of the quest done. I'm gonna pop in via microphone, just to kind of give a brief explanation as to what the quest is, and hopefully it's good RNG for the quest this time. But what I am going to do is I am going to stay on screen here real quick for just a couple minutes. And okay, there we go. And last time we got the 4th crystal. It's nighttime now. Obviously it's in the morning, but in game it's nighttime. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you guys the developer intended route to play this quest. Now keep in mind, we already got the crystal, but I want to show you technically what you're supposed to do with this quest and the rewards you get. So, please bear with me. Again, I'm not sitting on my pickle bucket again this week because it sucks. I still gotta get a chair. But I will at some point eventually. I'm hoping by episode 10. The 10th episode special. Hopefully I can get a chair by then. And that's going to be in 2 weeks. So, first thing what we're going to do is I'm going to show you the intended route for this. The first thing that you have to do, and this is the part where I kind of screwed up a little bit, but I didn't actually screw it up. I just forgot to get the things that you need. So, in, I believe it's I think it's 14 or 15. You had to get 2 vials of poison, which are for these things here, and these open up this door. Now, in this room is a boss, and the things that you need to technically do the quest, like the potion, like the antidote potions you need to get the crystal are in here in a chest. But we'll get to that in a little bit. First thing I'm going to do is try to get away from monsters and stuff like that, because you can't fast travel when enemies are nearby. Sometimes it can be a real pain in the ass. But just bear with me.
Poisoned.
Okay, speaking of getting poisoned. Not anymore. Not poison anymore. Killed, and then I'm going to try to fast travel. Okay, that's good. Yeah, if you can rest, then you know you can fast travel. It's always a very good guide. Because you go into the menu and you can rest, but you can only rest when you're nowhere near monsters. And if you can rest, you can fast travel. But unfortunately, what I'm going to have to do, the first thing is I need to get those 2 vials of poison. Kind of got to that. I probably should have gotten those before I started streaming this morning, but Oh, and if you're wondering what these things are, Arkok is the boss. By the way, I'm really hoping I pronounced that right. It's useful for something. But, yeah. Let's see here. Oh, this is the poison room. Let's go to this event.
Yes.
Oh yeah, this is the other place where there's this other medallion that you gotta get. Now the developer intention is there's actually 2 vials of poison in the level above this. And what you're supposed to do is you gotta fill this vat with poison, and in the other room you gotta fill that vat with poison. However, you don't actually need to do that. Then get out of the door! That's the problem with games with bad frame rates and lag is, the controls all of a sudden go from tolerable to they're just a pain in the ass. But okay, we got the 2 vials of poison. Checking, making sure all stream is good. Sweet. Ooh, and I got level up stuff. Even that out. Even the vitality out. Yeah. Now we can go back to the master room. So when you put those in, the door is sealed by a spell linked to the 4 fountains of... Oh, wait, no, I was wrong. So yeah, okay, so there's 2 vials of poison in level 14, and I was wrong. Yeah, you actually have to do all that. So just bear with me a few minutes. I'm just turning that off, and what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mute myself here for a little bit, get the things I need. Damn it, I should have done this right away before I started streaming. But, that just makes it an extra long stream today. So, hope you guys are ready for the long haul, because we're going to be here for a few hours. Because I am not splitting this up into 4 parts. I just want to beat this game and get this done. And then I can show you guys a couple of glitches. Okay, I'm back on the mic. So there's one little interesting thing about this particular...
Poisoned.
So, obviously, you have spiders you gotta kill. Expected. A lot of spiders. And... the one thing about this vat specifically is you put the vial of poison in, and then it spawns... What is it thought it did? Okay, maybe that was on PC. But normally there's supposed to be, like, when you put that one in and more spiders come out in that room in particular. Unless I'm thinking of something else. Either that or I'm pretty sure that does happen on PC. But okay, now we can actually go back to level 16. And finally go through the developer intended way that it's supposed to be. Oh shit. Okay, now the game is back on.
Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Damn it. I'm not gonna waste my time killing those spiders right now, but I am gonna go over here so I can finally get this part done. Oh shit, there's Track! There he is! There he is! Let me move my camera. There he is! There he is! It's the final boss! And it's kind of funny, it's like, okay, well what are you doing here already? A little bit of a cut tease. That's why Drak is here. But now we get to fight this big-ass spider.
Poisoned.
And this thing can definitely eat up your health. Just gotta keep your distance. Just shoot, 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 shoot. And his reign is over and dead. So, here's the developer intended for you. You got these two chests. So this chest you have a scroll, which is just a teleportation scroll, and you have to use this. You can't. You, the character, can't use it, but this is a required item to get to somebody. So, if you remember back on the first floor of this dungeon, there was the prison. We got the key to the prison. And then this other chest is the 3 antidote potions, like I said, to be able to get the crystal. But since I already have the crystal, I'm just going to use one of those so I'm not going to stay poisoned. However, now that we defeated Arkak, again, I'm really hoping I'm pronouncing that right. Now we can go pick up those 2 little medallions. There we go. Now we can go pick up those 2 medallions that we saw earlier. Around those little pedestal things. Let's go here and pick that up.
I do not have enough mana.
I know there's a lot of people who have played this game. I'm sure you probably have at some point. If you haven't, definitely pick up this game. Definitely check it out. However, a lot of people don't realize with this particular quest what these little medallion things are for. Wow, my game is loading slow today. Probably because of the stream setup. But it's a medal representing Arkak. 2 of them. So there's a very huge significance with these things. Because if you go back a level to level 14, there was that one room. We bypassed it, we didn't go in it. But now we're going to. And it's a very interesting room. I think it was the armory? Yeah, the armory. Yeah, this is the one. So obviously there's no enemies in here, but there's these 3 weapons. We got a bow, we got a staff, and we got a sword. Each of them have special attributes and stuff that are associated with it. It's time to choose. There is no second chance. So you can only pick one of these. Obviously, you got your warrior class, you got your mage class, and you got your thief and assassin class. Fuck the priests, I guess. I guess the monk and priestess don't have a weapon that you can pick from. I would assume that they would either pick a sword or the staff, but I'm picking the bow. And I don't know what it means by power is short-lived, but the other 2 weapons disappear, and you can't pick these up again. That is fixed. But we did get a cool weapon. A really nice weapon. A weapon that has a very interesting ability. Poison Cloud. And it's actually weaker than the weapon I currently have. Yay! Yeah, these weapons aren't really that great. By at this point in the game, you're already going to have a weapon that's likely more powerful. But every time you shoot an arrow, it gives the poison cloud effect, which can be useful. But then again, there's a lot of enemies where they're immune to the stuff, and unfortunately, you kind of just have to know from memory what enemies are impervious to poison effects. Obviously, spiders. There's the wyverns. There's a few other enemies, I think. But other than that, now we can actually go through the rest of the developer intended route. So after you get the key and that teleportation scroll and get your weapon of choice, if you go back and pick up the medals or whatever. But again, you don't have to do it. It's not required. It's just a little bonus as part of the quest. In this room, there are these big-ass spiders. Technically, I'm too weak to kill them, because even though they seem harmless enough, you think, oh, they're really big, so that means accuracy isn't an issue. Not true. Those things, you surprisingly have to have a high level of accuracy to be able to hit them properly. But we got the key. We go into the prison. 2 different things, and then we get this lady, Angelique. Yeah, would you have a teleportation scroll for me so I can get away from this gloomy place? Now, if you use the teleportation scroll that you picked up in level 16, don't worry, you can still buy one at the main shop in town. Thank you again, and I hope to see you soon. Oh, and we get a ring. However, there's just one little issue with this ring.
Yes.
The plot twist thickens. Now, we free her from this prison. Why would she give us a cursed ring that's -10 to strength and -15 to dexterity? See, if you don't have identification as a skill, and you put this thing on, it's cursed. You can't take it off. There's that Madame Irma chick in town where you know you can heal, you can identify stuff, and you can relieve curses. That's the only way to relieve a curse, and I'm pretty sure doesn't. Again, I have not played the monk or priest class in the PS1 version, at least in a very long time. But I know there's the exorcism skill that the monk and priestess have, where they can remove cursed items off of their own person, which completely eliminates the need to have to pay to get the item moved. It is a completely 100% useless ring. It sells for 1 piece of gold, and again, mace trick. I can get gold whenever the fuck I want, so this ring is useless. Okay. So now that we freed her from the prison, it's great. Now we can move on to the next quest. You might think, oh, the quest is over. Almost. It's almost over. See, this is where it throws a little bit of a twist. Because you go back up, and then you look, and you see, hey, husband and wife together again. Awesome. You talk to her around us, and he's like, you took your time. And whatever, just leave us alone. Fine, fuck you, Aroused. But no, seriously, fuck him. You can talk to him again. Oh yeah, the reward. You can forget about that. It's fine. Talk to him a 3rd time. Yeah, darling, look how strong I am. You're not strong. And now we get his hidden boss. We get a boss, and he can do some serious damage. So. This is why I prefer the Assassin Thief class. Yeah, it's a boss. But hey, at least he's lit up so you can see him, which I guess is kind of cool. And he's dead. Awesome! But you didn't drop anything. Yeah, plot twist. So it turns out that the guy who helped you in the beginning is actually the bad guy. And so is his wife. Oh, but she's got a really cool skill. You ready for this? You ready? You ready for this? She's a werewolf. Yeah, modeled after the female assassin class. But she's a werewolf.
I do not. Please help.
Yep. Ah, damn it, stun lock. Yeah, I hate stun locks. Problem with this game is that the game sucks with stun lock because of its shitty frame rate. The only way to play this game efficiently is sadly through emulator. But yeah, as a werewolf, she don't fuck around. So yeah, at the very end of this, you kill a giant spider, you kill the guy who helped you in the beginning, and then you kill his wife. 3 bosses. And keep in mind, you don't even need to defeat one of them to get the crystal. But now we have the Key of Heraldus. Here's the drawback with the reward. So this reward is only significant if you have the warrior class. Because you get leather armor and a master sword. And at this point of the game, you can't buy the master sword yet. It's not available in the shops, technically. But you got that, you got leather armor, and speaking of the leather armor, I am putting that on. That's like the one thing that's actually good, is the leather armor. Considering we're going from 20 AC armor capacity to 36. Which isn't bad, which is really good. Okay. Oh yeah. Now we gotta discover the rest of it. So yeah, that was the so that's basically the developer intended way to do that quest. And again, you don't even have to do it. You don't even have to kill any of the 3 bosses I mentioned. It's a fetch quest. You just go down to the bottom floor and get the crystal. In this case, as long as you have 3 antidote potions, you're fine. But now we're going to the next land, the land of Omar. And this is the part where I'm going to be quiet for a bit. I will come back on the microphone, but I am going to be shutting the camera off now for a while. Bask and enjoy, honestly, my favorite land music of this game. Well, that music was awesome. And the only thing I'm going to say is, damn it, this is not the quest I wanted! Like I said, for each of the 7 crystals, there's 3 different kinds of quests you can get, and unfortunately, I got the bad RNG. This is the worst one. Because there's not really any good reward. This is just sheer annoyance of a quest. However, the quest is simple. There's a person that you have to free. You gotta go down to the 3rd floor of the level 19. Or at least I think you gotta go. No, you gotta go to 18 to get a thing. I'm pretty sure. Then you go down to the next level to get another item. Then you gotta come back up to the land of the graveyard, fight a boss, get their helmet, go all the way down to level 20, and get the crystal. And then there is another series of bosses. Yeah, hope you enjoy it. There's actually, believe it or not, there are 5 bosses for this one quest. And you have to defeat them. I mean, technically you have to. But there's 5 of them. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to mute my mic. Because I really do need to focus on this. I hate this quest so much. I hate this quest. I do have vivid memories of this quest when I was a little kid watching my sister play it. And it's nostalgic. Don't get me wrong. But I really fucking hate this quest. It is time consuming. It is sheer annoyance. And combined with the very, very shoddy frame rate of this game. Ugh. Yeah, I'm going to really need to focus. So, bear with me. Enjoy. I'm going to be just going to town with this and just focusing. Um, Again, stick around because this quest, you're gonna see how annoying this quest can get. As I hate it, especially like it's not bad if you're playing this like if you're playing, your character the second time around after you beat the game the first time. It's not too bad at that point, but starting with a new character and getting this quest, well, at least I'm gonna really be leveled up by the end of the game. So enjoy the annoyance that is the graveyard quest. Again, I fucking hate this quest so much. Oh, I should also mention real quick before I go into this dungeon, say hi to Melkor and Ramal. Bye, Melkor and Ramal. They are completely irrelevant. They have no purpose. They're just there. They're only there to kind of tell you a little bit as to what you're getting yourself into, but that's not important. That's not important. The important thing is, again, this quest is really fucking annoying and I gotta focus now. Actually, I'm going to come back onto my one last time to explain this. Like I said, I'm going to come back in and out just to explain certain things. This is the harem. Now, you might think, oh, it's not bad of a room. Until you start to walk in, and then you get that, and you get bombarded with that shit. This room honestly scared me when I was a kid. Don't ask me why, but this room scared me when I was a kid because of that. I'm actually going to go to town now, sell my stuff, drop off my crystals, and then go back into the good stuff. But this room, there's a reason why I say it's better to have reflections right away, because you're going to need this. You need reflections to get through this room, or you're going to die. And believe me, as you go into this room, the frame rate drops and you're going to see real quick. Thankfully, I don't have to go into the room right away until after a certain part of the quest.
Yes. Help! I do not have enough mana here.
Okay, microphone-wise, I am back. If you couldn't tell, the frame rate of this game fucking sucks. And by the way, when it comes to the PlayStation driver that I have it set on the PS2, it's set to fast, by the way. And that's and if this is the best that can do, it sucks. But I'm about to make it 10 times worse. The harem. So I was wrong. Those two guys you saw up there having their little campfire. Yeah, they somehow made it past all those enemies and past the lag and got themselves in a pickle. Took care of that. Now we gotta take this Diadem of Oblivion. Don't worry, it has nothing to do with Elder Scrolls. And we have to go talk to this Jasmine fellow in the harem. If you thought the frame rate was bad, this is why you need reflection. Bam, 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 bam. Just that quick. If you don't have reflections, yeah, you're dead. In that area, you are dead. But thankfully, I got reflections out of the gate, so don't have to worry about that. And there she is. There's Jasmine. So, you press the button. You set her free. But, nope. She still can't leave. Give her the diadem. And she's gone. Now we gotta take the Horn of Roland, go back up to the land to go to the graveyard to fight our second boss, because this is our first boss. It is also really, 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 really good to have reflections for this boss too. Just to be safe than sorry. So that's the first boss. And then we have a missive. However, we can't do anything with the missive until we go back to town, because again, I am full on stuff. But the missive basically just describes that the ancient helmet can be found in the tomb of Roland the Eternal Champion. This is the only way of seeing what cannot be seen. That is coded language for something, and you will see that here coming up in the next few minutes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mute my mic again, focus on getting back down to level 20, and we're going to take care of our second boss. Ooh, and I also noticed earlier that we got potions we can buy. You know what that means? That means we could take these stats and boost the fuck out of it. However, not on stream. On my own time, because it would be really, really annoying to just have me sit here for like 20 minutes just doing nothing but doing the mace cheat and getting the money and then getting the potions and stuff and doing everything else in between.
Whoa! Whoa!
It's not a bad helmet, but I can get a better helmet. Yeah, I can get a much better helmet. Which I can't even get right now. Do I want to do that, though? to boost a couple of extra dexterity points so I can use this bow. Yeah. I'm just gonna stick with the throwing axe for now. I'll stick with the throwing axe for now. And now we gotta go back up, and we get to fight boss number 2. Oh yeah, and then there's a lot of these, there's also this lady here too. There's, you know, a lot of these women, they're enjoying themselves. And what does Bella have to say? Leave me alone. It does nothing, so you can just spam this over and over and over and over, and they can't do anything. And Rosso says, also leave me alone. I thought there was one that said go away, and it was all caps, but guess not. Alright, now we go back into the land, and now we gotta go to the graveyard. And here is Roland's tomb. Boss number 2. There is one little drawback with him, too. You can't stand near him. Because if you do, he will spawn skeleton archers. But you can keep backing yourself up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Actually, I'll stand near him, and as you can see, he spawns skeleton archers. There is also another neat trick in the graveyard, too. If you go over by these gravestones and you press the circle button... actually, you're probably able to before, but... Now, I know you can go by these gravestones, if you press the circle button, it will spawn a skeleton archer. And I know on the PC version, there are people that say that it's really good for XP farming. And I guess you could say that here on... you know, on the PlayStation 1 version too, it's the same thing. But yeah, you were able to before, like before, if I didn't open up the tomb, then yeah, you could press the circle button there and you could just spawn skeleton archers, which is pretty cool. But hey, now we got Roland's helmet. A helmet that is technically better than what I have, and has infinite durability. But that's not going to suffice that much, because now we can go all the way down to level 20 to get the crystal. Alright, here we are at level 20. Now, there is one thing I'm going to do, because you're going to realize real quick that this is a very, 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 very small level. And the crystal's right there. It's right there. However, I can't step in there. Not yet. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make a safety save just to be safe than sorry. I can't afford to die, otherwise I'm going to soft lock it, and I'm going to be SOL on actually being able to complete the rest of the series, because I can't afford to do that. But what I am going to do, to really emphasize the safe and sorry, except I'm going to do a safety save, again, just to be safe. But the first thing you got to do is you actually have to go around. Now, the problem with this is that there's a very, 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 very specific pattern. These things that light up, if you hit them, it's a bomb. You take health damage. So you gotta be very, very careful. And I know with this game's frame rate and PS1 analog controls, it's not great, but yeah, there's a very, very specific pattern. Very subtle camera movements. And you have to unlock all three of them. You have to undo all three switches. Very gently, very, very gently. And now we can get the crystal. Now, once I get the crystal, this door's gonna shut. Now, you might think, okay, you said before there are 5 bosses. Here's the other 3 bosses.
Yes.
Those are the other 3 bosses. Templars. And you have to fight 3 of them at once. And they have a lot of health. Yeah, these things are not friendly. They are not friendly at all. So I am actually going to mute myself here real quick. And yeah, they have a lot of health. These things are not fun to fight. I mean, they are actually very, very fun, and they're very, very easy. You just have to keep walking backwards. Don't let them touch you in any way, shape, or form. Because they do significant damage. They do damage. And yeah, you gotta fight 3 of them at once. So the best strategy is at least lure 1, knock a shit ton of their health down. And that's the first Templar down. I'm gonna mute this mic real quick so I can focus. that's all the Templars. Now, to be fair, technically you don't have to fight them all. You can just go back to town. But then the drawback is that then you have to deal with a bunch of bunch of loading screens of having to get back to where you were. That's the only drawback. So that was the graveyard quest, and like I said, that I hate that quest so much. It mostly because it's tedious, and obviously, as you saw, the frame rate was just a huge cancer. However, this next quest, I'm really hoping it is not the one in particular, because it's another tedious fetch quest kind of thing. I just hope it's not the Flower of Life quest. Because with that one, you gotta pick up 3 dead flowers in the first 3 levels, go back up to the mainland, put them in a thing, pick up the flowers of life that they turn into, and then go all the way down to the bottom floor, put them in their places, and get the crystal. It's just up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. I'm hoping it's not that quest. I really don't want it to be that quest. I'll take the other 2 any day of the week. But we're gonna find out. Let's see, considering the RNG luck that we had, it's the quest I don't want, isn't it? God damn it! Damn it! What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? What did I say? I said not this quest. Alright. Well, I briefly just explained what the quest is. You gotta go down to the first 3 levels, get flowers, put them in these things, and then there's other areas across the map where you have to pick up the flowers of death that turn into life, go all the way down to the bottom floor, put them in a little thing. Big ass pyramid, like this glass pyramid thing lifts and opens up, like really cool. And you get the crystal. It's back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. I hate this quest because of its seriousness like that. I really do. But that's okay. That's okay. Honestly, it could have been a hell of a lot worse. Actually, it couldn't have been. No, this is actually the worst quest of the 6th crystal. I hate this quest. Mostly because, like I said, it's just so fucking time-consuming. It is a good quest, don't get me wrong, but like I said, it's a very time-consuming one. Especially since you gotta deal with skeleton archers, and these things... If you don't have the health, well, keep your distance. As much as they have to keep theirs. That's all you can do. But, considering the respawn, when we come back up to the land, all those skeleton archers we just killed are gonna be right back again. And that's why I hate this quest. Because it's a trap. But, that's okay. Because we're not going into level 21. We're going into the Gate of the Dead. Which is just level 21. Alright. Alright, so I'm actually going to have the microphone turned off again, bask in the glory of shitty frame rate and tediousness. Yeah, this is definitely going to be a long stream. I was kind of hoping I wouldn't get the bad RNG quest luck, but I did. And I am not splitting this into a 4th episode. I'm not doing it. I'm not splitting this into a 4th episode. I'm getting everything done. Triple check it. Gonna triple check real quick to make sure that everything stream-wise is going good. Because the last thing I need is a stream thing to where it's not working. And I can't afford to do that right now. Because fuck that shit. Come on, loading. Okay. Yep, we're still alive. Okay. Triple checking just to make sure. But, yeah, we're in the Gate of the Damned, aka level 21, which is totally not level 21, but it's level 21. And if you thought this game could not get dark, this is with light. And it's still too hard to see. And sorry, some of these quests, I just hate them so much. I do, I really do. So I'm gonna turn this mic off. Please bear with me, as I have to try to bear myself to fucking see the game. So enjoy this particular quest, because I hate it, but it isn't too terrible. It's another good. It's a good XP grind quest. It's good if you want to kill a lot of enemies, grind XP. That's the one positive I can take out of this quest. So on that, I'm muting this, and I'm gonna get crystal number 6. Oh, and when I get crystal 6, and when we start to get crystal number 7, the last one, camera's coming back on. Like I said, I'm trying something a little bit new with the streaming stuff. Please bear with me. I kind of like this, because this way then I don't have to always have the camera on. I can at least keep the microphone on. It's still my real voice. There's no AI. It's not fake. I promise you, this is not my fake voice. This is an actual real voice. So on that note, let's get the 6th crystal.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yes.
Please help.
I do not have enough mana.
Please help.
Alright, we are actually back. Alright, we got the 6th crystal. That's done. And now I just got one more. And we're back on the cam once again. Now, outside of a few cutscenes, that's the only other time I'm turning the camera off. Otherwise, well, actually, with the cutscenes, both camera and microphone, but... Nah. We're back. We're back live.
Yeah.
It's not an episode of Grumpy's Gaming Garage unless you got the real thing on the screen. Weapons so bad, and I can't do anything with them. That's not a bad helmet. much, just a little bit of a boost. I could upgrade my shield too. But actually that one's really good stat-wise. Alright. Yeah, we got potions that we can buy now. So happy. This is a good Ooh, this would be a good opportunity, wouldn't it? Bear with me for a few minutes. I'm going to get my dexterity up at least to 110. We're getting to 2 hours here. Awesome. This actually just might be the longest Grumpy's Gaming Garage episode yet, because I'm expecting it to last about 3-ish hours. About 3-ish hours. Nothing else to that, but we can definitely get all of those. Hey, actually I got 20 back. Awesome.
Yes.
And I'm gonna upgrade the weapon. At least now we finally got the damage number into the 40s, right? Ready to go for this last quest. Thankfully with the 7th crystal. It does not matter. Out of the variety of the 3 that could happen, they're all actually pretty good and they're all pretty straightforward. Kinda hoping we get the number cross. The number quest. Really hoping we can get the number quest, though. That one, in my opinion, is probably the easiest in the game. But there's the vampire one, and oh yeah, then there's the one where you gotta destroy a bunch of statue things. You got each for statues in each level. So the one got destroyed. The other 3 you have to destroy, and then just get the crystal. finally get started on the last quest. The final crystal. We finally made it. Nearly 2 hours in and we finally made it. See, because in my mind I was thinking, well, I could end it at the last crystal and then, make you guys wait till next week to fight Drak. So we can fight Drak and we can slay the dragon. But, no. We're not doing that. Yeah, don't be fooled when it says, oh, this location cannot be reached yet. There's a very good reason why it will show that. Because there's always going to be an enemy in the doorway. And that's just how the spawn works. They don't move unless you're near them. Yeah, like I said, I was planning on maybe making you guys wait till next week, but we're not doing that. I'm not splitting this up into 4 parts. I'd rather just do 3 parts and make the 3rd part really super long. Then we can actually get some real accomplishment done. And I will state right out of the gate, because I am going to address it at the very end when we wind down. Next week, I'm probably going to be doing another Forza stream. I'm doing another endurance race to switch it up. And I do have a few ideas for the next Let's Play. However, you guys are just going to have to wait and see. I gotta keep it a surprise. Oh yeah, then Drak comes back and tells you something. Another enemy spawn. Same thing like it was when we got the 3rd crystal. But now he likes to come back and basically stick his thing in your face. Just one more time. Just one more time he does it. And now he doesn't bother you until you face him once we get to the end. And now we can go to Bastille? Weird pronunciation. I got the holy number. We got the holy number quest. Let's go. Let's go. And the only thing I'm just going to say about the soundtrack for this land, I'm just thinking Fallout Wasteland kind of music. But there is a story. There's a story. Because this is the holy number quest. The easiest quest, I think, in this entire game. Because all you have to do is just remember a specific number. And you just go all the way down to the bottom floor and get the crystal. Ooh, but we did get a parchment. Yeah, and so I had this vision. The pilgrim finally faced the devil and chose the holy number. The devil saw a number 12 times smaller and died. Thus the crystal was released. These are clues, and there is actually the clue thing at the bottom level, in level 28. And there is a developer intended route because you got to solve the puzzle and figure it out. But if you played this game once, you will never have to worry about wanting to solve the puzzle ever again. Because thankfully, with the holy number, it does not change. The number is always the same regardless. And I'm not going to say the number yet. Not yet. Not going to say the number yet because, shh, again, it's a surprise. However, there is one thing about level 25, because now we're actually getting to... Let me fix this real quick. Now we are actually getting to the home stretch of the game. However, you might notice the music. And you're thinking here, and you might probably going to think to yourself, and then you're looking at the level, wait, isn't this the same thing as it was at the beginning of the game? Yes. Well, the music is the same. But there is a difference to the level design. It is the same, like, the walls, the floor, the structure, the design of the level. It's still the same level design, but the corridors are different and the corridors are bigger. And you might think, oh, we have a crystal room already? Very interesting. But it's okay. We're gonna go and get that crystal here in a second. As we endure the skipping of the game music, because, again, old copy. But then weirdly enough, the frame rate all of a sudden gets better. It's literally only between levels 21 through 24 is where the frame rate is the worst. It's as you can tell, if you've been watching, yeah, it's really bad. Heck of a lot of level yet. But hey, here's those big spiders that we saw earlier. I didn't fight them earlier because, well, if you can look at their health, you can see why. And you, assuming that, depending on the level of your character back at level 13, yeah. They're a little tough. That's why I played it safe and I decided not to kill them when we were at level 13. Because I already knew that we're gonna see them again anyways, and usually it's at this point of the game now.
Please help.
Just want to be able to get through just one playthrough of this game without dying. That's all I ask. I can guarantee, yeah, we're not dying yet. We're not going to either. Oh yeah, and here it is. There's the crystal. But nope. From illusion to deception, the presents are more than consolation. So you say. So you say. However, we do get potions of surprise, which I can't do anything with because my inventory is too full, but we're gonna come back for them. Damn it, I'll be right back. No, not me actually being right back, just for getting the stuff in the level. Yeah, don't you hate that? Playing a game, all of a sudden you come across like a stupidly really good stash after getting shit. And then you finally get good stuff. Oh, but nope, inventory's full. Whoops.
Yes.
I can use that. Yeah. Get the extra percentage to hit boost. That's a good shield. That's a good shield. That's a better shield. That's a much better shield. I like this shield. Okay. And now we can go back. So, potions of surprise. I love these things, but I also hate these things. At least in the early game, they suck. Now, it does exactly what you think it does. It will randomly adjust your strength, magic, dexterity, and vitality stats. Sometimes it goes up by 5, sometimes it goes up by 10, sometimes it doesn't do anything, sometimes it goes down by 5 or 10. However, thankfully, it's all RNG. Meaning, what I'm going to do is I'm going to save, I'm going to spam it, hope that my dexterity stays at least 110. Or at least everything else stays where it's supposed to. And if not, then I can just reload the save. But can't necessarily do that yet. But I'm gonna take the risk. As long as my strength and dexterity don't go down. Well, the dexterity went down. But that's okay. Because the strength did go up. Now, obviously, I can still keep the weapon, but if I unequipped it, I can't put it back on. However, the trick is that, yeah, you can still throw it. It just does your base damage. It just does your fist damage instead. But that's not bad. Because if I remember correctly, I saw some dexterity potions in the shop. If I remember correctly. And if not, then I can easily just get a 100 dexterity throwing axe just to suffice for the time being. Okay, nope. Dexterity potions were in the shop. Awesome. More mace check. That's why potions of surprise, at least early on, or at least early, new character. Yeah, they become a real wild card. But we do get more potions of surprise soon.
Yeah.
This is fine. This is fine. Don't worry, we're making good time. We're making real good time. Yeah, we can go to level 26 now. Yeah, we can go to level 26 now. How you doing, chat? You alright? Oh yeah, then we get these enemies, Eyes of Cain. Or, as what they should be called, floating eyeballs. Sentient floating eyeballs. Or a sentient floating eyeball. They may not really be that threatening, but they can be deadly. And then there was the other enemy that we saw earlier, the warrior. Now, the weird thing is that I never remembered that enemy being on the PlayStation version of the game. Because I knew it was on PC, but I completely forgot that they actually did program the warrior enemy into the PS1 version. Speaking of enemies, we get, I guess, a first set of bosses. Well, not really a boss, but we get those, and we get 4 more potions of surprises. That I am not going to mess with right now. I will wait. But yeah, like I said, I had no idea that these warrior enemies were even programmed into this, because I saw them on the PC version, because I had never seen them before. And it's like, hey, that looks pretty cool. And then, growing up and stuff, coming back to this game, it was a shock. I was more shocked, really, because I didn't even know they programmed it. It's like, yeah, that's cool. It's not that bad. Oh yeah, there is also one more other kind of enemy. I know there's a few that we haven't seen yet, at least, streaming-wise. However, there is one particular enemy that, when they do start appearing in this level, and those are the wizards. You want to talk about teleportation spamming. Like, really, really annoying teleportation spamming. They're the worst enemies in the game. But usually if they don't show up at like level 27 or 28, then they show up in the last dungeon area of the game. And thankfully the last one is all brand new. Or at least, at least a level design that we have not seen yet. Yep, they are in this level. These are the wizards. Sometimes you can't take a step without them just appearing. They also have the luxury of shooting fireball and planting magic bombs. Now, combine that annoyingness with the respawning enemies, and they're the worst enemies in this game. Especially in the harder difficulties. Oh god. Can't even use ranged weapons to hurt them. Or at least I know in hero mode, you can't use ranged weapons to defeat other enemies that also have ranged attacks. But thankfully in the novice mode, or at least like the earlier game modes, the game mode difficulties, the wizards aren't terrible. Just, you know, deal with having to fight one after you take a couple of steps.
I do not have enough mana.
Yes.
Negative 17 to man. Okay, that's just no. That's a useless amulet. And yeah, any cursed or negative affected items will sell for just 1 gold piece. Now we can go down to level 28. Ugh. But yeah, here we are, level 28. And now all I have to do is just grab the crystal. So, there is a developer intended route, which I am going to show that real quick here.
I've been poisoned. Please help.
Nope. Well, actually, I can't do anything until I go
I do not
to
have
sell
enough
my shit.
mana.
I do not have dexterity, so I'm actually just gonna sell those and another time.
Whoa.
I'll take that 25 banana. And well, I guess I wasn't gonna be able to get through this without dying. Shit. Oh, this sucks. Yeah, I have no choice, so... I'm turning the camera off. I have no choice. But what I am going to do, I'm going back to town. Because if I reload the save, I lose those crystals, and this whole fucking playthrough is ruined. So unfortunately, I gotta do the hard thing of, well... And that's why those spiders are a pain in the ass. Now we gotta go through the hard thing of... I really hate this. Backtracking. I gotta go all the way back to level 28. All the way back to the bottom floor. Thankfully, all my stuff is still there. I just have to go all the way back and pick up everything. And not get hit. Effectively, I gotta do all this without dying. And at 43 health, at that point in the game, 2 hits and I'm dead. So, yeah. Well, I had to die at least once, so there's that. But, yeah, that's the thing with this game is that when there's a lot going on at once, that frame rate fucking tanks. And then shit like that happens. Because, well, yeah, still relatively weak, at least health-wise. And sometimes, like, you got, like, 4 enemies that hit you all at once. And you don't get a warning. You're just dead. So please bear with me as I get back to the spot, and then I'm making another safety save to be safe. Okay. Alright, we're back to the spot. Yeah, sorry about that. The death was not expected. Okay, first thing I need to do is I'm putting reflections
I
on.
do not have enough mana.
There's too many spiders! And yeah, like I said, even though they're super fucking big, you need to have a high accuracy. And even though mine's at 196% with Berserker, it's about as effective as 60%. And I just died again. And that's why I hate these spiders. Damn it! Be right back. Yeah, this time I'm taking the crystals with me and I'm making a safety save once I get back to the spot. I am not gonna fucking deal with death after death after death after death. No. Nah. We're at 2.5 hours. I don't want to fucking make this an all-day stream. I'm already close. Not today. But then again, it's all good. Hell, it wouldn't be a Grumpy's Gaming Garage without me getting pissed off. Especially if it's a game where you know it in and out, and I still die casually. Doesn't matter how good you are at something. Everybody sucks in some way, shape, or form. You got your prodigies, fine, whatever, but doesn't matter how good you are, nobody's perfect. The only thing that just makes dying and then having to go back and pick up all your parts, the long loading times. It's just load screen after load screen after load screen after load screen after load screen. And yeah, it sucks when you die at this point in the game because, load screen after load screen after load screen after load screen.
I do not have enough mana.
All right. Take 3. Except this time, fuck you, spider. got all the crystals in hand. I'm making a safety save. So even if I die, now we can pick up where we left off without consequence. Because I am not fucking doing load screen after load screen after load screen a third time. No, I already died too much.
I do not have enough mana.
Reflection, this. Say, will these spiders just fucking die? This is why, and again, the respawn rate. Because sometimes you can, no, because sometimes you'll get stuck on a loop and they'll just keep respawning and respawning and respawning. There was one time where it was in Amazon, and I swear I stayed in the same spot and it respawned like 8 times in a row. Can I get through the door? The door. The door. Thank you. And then I will make one more safety save to be safe. Because again, I am not going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Not going through loan screens again. Not for a third time. But otherwise, we are good. We are safe. And now we can actually focus on getting this game done. And I swear, I don't know what it is, but I feel like that the respawning of the enemies is actually worse. It's more redundant. Like, it happens more often as the game gets harder for some reason. Alright, now let's actually go to this thing down here. So, as I was trying to say earlier, so this is where you actually get the puzzle to do all of the stuff or whatever. And, for the holy number. Obviously, you get it all from a dead guy. And it's weird because there's 4 different scrolls. And obviously these are just all the clues. Now, I don't know why there's 4 different clues, because, like, two of them are... Because there's 2 of them right there. There's 2 of the 3 numbers. And, actually, what we can do is... Because, fuck this level. I'm getting the crystal now. Fuck that spider. I'm getting the crystal now! Oh yeah, magical number's 540. It's always gonna be the same number every single time you get this quest. Nothing changes.
Yeah.
Give me the crystal. And that's it. That's all 7 of them. That's all 7. Now I can finally leave this freaking dungeon. And now we can construct the clock rack. Okay, it's actually called the time orb, but for the sake of argument, just as a just so that way then I can come up with a good metaphor for it. It's a clock rack. I can go without enemies, and I can also go without them dropping a bunch of shit. Oh, come on. Really? Who is blocking the door now? Ah, right here. Yeah, they don't have to actually be in the middle of the doorway, but they could still be right there. Oh, and I get to deal with these guys again. Like I said, you can't take 3 steps without another one of these things respawning, so... The only real way to sneak around the wizards is invisibility. That's the only way. And you better hope that you're not playing as an assassin character on hero mode. Because like I said, you can't use ranged weapons to hit them. So, it's unless you have a melee weapon you can use. Or play it safe and just use invisibility. if you ain't got any of that stuff, you're screwed. Oh yeah, spells don't work either. Like there are some enemies where it gets to a point where no, exclusively you have to use a melee weapon. There, we got the 7 crystals. So, the main part of the story is done. Because now we go to the land of Surkesh. There's one very interesting thing about this particular land in the game. It's the last land of the game, of course. But there's something very weird and off about it. Have you noticed yet? Have you noticed it all yet? Because you might be wondering, okay, where the hell are all the enemies? This is the only land that does not have enemies at all. Period. Except on the PC version. Because on the PC version, there are enemies just like normal. It's only the land of Surkesh on the PlayStation 1 where no enemies at all. Nothing. Just dead, barren wasteland of nothing except for putting everything into the pedestals. As well as the entrance to level 29, the last dungeon area of the game. And we get to see a new level design. And sadly, there are only 3 levels in this whole thing. Because we made it. We're at the end of the game. Ooh, and I'm turning my camera off. I'm turning my mic off because cutscene. Yep, thanks to the 7 crystals, I can now reconstitute the time orb. It's a clock rock. Cool. I mean, outside of the crappy computer effects of Sebastian with his character model, I'm sorry. I know it's a game from the late '90s, but I'm sorry, it looks like shit. The CGI really did not age well. Yep, the power of the orb will prevent Drak from regenerating for a moment or two. And I will explain everything about Drak when we get to him. So, this is the part where you think, oh, I'm going to end it here. And I'm just going to make you wait till next week. No! No, 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 no. No. Oh yeah, also other thing too, if you drop the time orb off in town, like I mentioned before with the despawning, yeah, you could actually, like, legit soft lock this game. Not just with the crystals, but even with the time orb itself. Because if you don't have that thing, you can't defeat Drak and you're screwed. Do I have a magic potion? Give me some blue, give me some blue, give me some blue, 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 blue. Damn it! Be a good opportunity so I can get my Berserk to level 3 right before I gotta fight Drak, but that's okay. That's okay. I just gotta make sure I'm topped off on potions at this point. Because we're at endgame, folks. We're finally here. It took us almost 3 hours. But we're here. We're here for the long haul. And already, this is the longest episode of Grumpy's Gaming Garage. And I am so glad I get to give that honor to this game. The purest of nostalgia. Because it don't get any better than this. And I'm gonna upgrade my weapon too. Technically, it's a downgrade. But it's actually an upgrade. I'm gonna upgrade this 5 times. myself this armor. And I know it is hard to see, but again, we do get, it looks like it is the same thing from the other model, because again, this is a a reskin of the same character. And actually, it don't look that bad. That's not bad. Not bad. Yeah, we can pick up all that, sell all those scrolls. And that's all we got. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Yeah.
And those. And those. And I am going to make another safety save. Because, again, you never know. Because, like I said, again, old copy of the game. There are times where I'm loading something and it just freezes in the loading screen. Can't really do anything about that. So I'm doing the safety save just to be safe. However, if it does happen, I just have to restart the console, and that's not too bad. And if there's anything I gotta make up, then I can easily just do that without camera or microphone on and stuff. But we're here. We're at the end game. All right, let's go slay Drock's ass. Oh. And yeah, like I said, we get new level design. And the music is still the same as early game. However, I will actually give the level design this. I like the horns there on the door. And, get to that area, but all I'm going to say is that this particular level design, while it does look really, really cool, it's also, okay, that's not a good example. Because I know on some of the floor tiling, if you notice, it's a pentagram. Very heavily Satan influenced this level design is. And it does make sense, because, I mean, we are fighting against a dragon. Yeah, but yeah, at this point in the game, these are the hardest levels. At least definitely once you get to hero mode, then, like I said, it's melee weapon or bust. the level entry? Where the hell is the entrance to the next level? Somewhere. It's it's gonna be right there, isn't it? Yeah, don't you hate when you explore a whole fucking level and you can't find the entrance, and yet it's like the very last area you haven't checked? Okay. Second to last level. And thankfully, this is the last of the numbered levels. Technically. is magic door. Alright. Entrance to level 31. But it's not level 31. It's Drock's Lair. This is it. We made it. Now, there is a few things I should emphasize in Drock's Lair. All of the enemies, at least as far as for what kind of enemy it is, they are the exact same. Effectively, this specific level is coded. This is also the only level in the game that does not have a map. So this is all, you gotta know how to navigate this all from memory. But thankfully, everything leads you to where you gotta go, basically. So there's these 3 different bridges. We got this first one, which is a little bit of a trial thing with the fireball spoon. First set's fine. The second set shoots faster. Third one is just one, but it's a very powerful fireball. All of the drops are the same too. Like opening these chests, you will always get 2 potions of vitality. And a potion, and a potion of youth. Again, it's all scripted. It's not RNG. It is scripted. Even like all the scorpions and the enemies, even in here, where they're placed, how many there are. And this is also the last opportunity I have to go to town to stock up on anything, and I do. And I actually have to go back to town and stock. No, we're fine, we're fine.
Whoa! Whoa! Got myself stocked up on it all just to be safe.
Oh yeah, then obviously when you come back from town, all the enemies respawn. Again, same enemies, same scripted thing. As far as for what enemies drop, that's all RNG. The only thing that's just not RNG in this level is, you know, what enemies there are and stuff like that. But here we are. This is it. I am making a safety save to be safe. I said I'm making a safety save to be safe. And, another cutscene. There he is! There he is! There's our boy! But, seriously though, cutscene. Oh, shit. Now, there is a strategy. The first thing you have to do is you need to lure these mystical wyverns away. They run really fast, they hit really fast, and they also do a lot of damage. Unfortunately, if you kill them when you're near Drak, he just respawns them. Infinite respawn with these guys. But what you have to do is you gotta keep them both close, lure them away, quickly run back, make sure that they're not following you, and then we can fight Drak. I definitely need reflections up. I need reflections up.
Please help. Please help.
Damn it. Now, here's the thing. Drak's health cannot go below 50%, because if it does, it automatically regenerates. So once his health is about halfway, time orb. Now, you only have that amount of time to kill him.
Please help.
I'm not dying today.
Please help.
Ooh, and then I am gonna mute cutscene. Yeah. Clock rocks do indeed slay dragons. Drak is dead! He's dead, that's it! That's it! Over 3 hours into this stream, that's it! It's dead! Now, there is still a bunch of other things yet. The time orb is now completely useless. We get a few things. We got a dragon scale, we got the astral hand, and we got a key. There is another room where the dragon scale is used for. It is used for something. There's a few other things in this level. I have to show it. I have to show them on stream. I have to. Because I almost forgot. The first thing is the key. You unlock his treasure room. So from what I remember is the amount of gold that is in the treasure room is based on your player's level. So I'm at level 31. Let's see here. I just need to hold this on the side. 174,466. All right, 174,466 gold is what I have currently. The amount of gold in Drock's treasure room depends on your character's level themselves. If I remember correctly, since I'm at level 31, there should be 310,000 gold in this room. There should be. I know it's it's this way on the PC version, but I'm now checking for my own sanity to make sure that it is that way on PlayStation. I think it is. I think. And that is all of the gold in this room. 266. Okay, nope. I was way wrong. Okay, so there's 92,000. I have no idea where it's from specifically. I'm not 100% sure. Huh. I guess I was wrong, because I thought there was something that, you know, depending, like, you get a certain amount. I think it's true on the PC version, though. I think. Otherwise, I might just be wrong entirely, and I apologize if I'm lying, but... oh, yeah, there's a couple of other things in Drock's lair that we gotta take care of. Oh, yeah, now we can go back and kill those mystical wyverns if we want to. Unless they despawn. I think they despawned. Okay, I guess they despawned then. Okay. Whatever. And now we go back into the main hub. The main room. So, there are 3 different bridges. This first one took us to that one room where we got the 2 potions of vitality and the potion of youth. Now, this second bridge is what leads us into the room for the dragon scale. So, here's the trick. Now, it doesn't matter what you do. You can open up this chest and 4 skeleton captains will appear. Okay, fine, whatever. If I'm trying to remember this right. Yeah, using the dragon scale, you use it on each of these 4 pillar things, and it drops just 1 of each of a potion of your stats. So in other words, everything you can, if you go back to this room after you beat Drock, if you so choose to, then you're able to get +4 to all of your attributes. Basically. and now the dragon scale is completely useless. Oh yeah, and then there's one last thing. Now, thankfully, I'm going to go the other way, because like I said, there are 3 bridges, and this is the 3rd one. You enter this room. So this room is known for actually being very interesting, and you can come here, obviously, before you have to fight Drak if you want to. But, any Marvel fans out there? Any Marvel fans out there? Yeah, any Marvel fans? Any Thor fans out there? Because the Mjolnir, yes, it's actually in this game. Thor's hammer is in Darkstone. I hope I enjoy that, because that's the most interesting Easter egg that this game has to offer. But it's a cool, it's good. 30 to 40 damage base, infinite durability, plus 30 to strength, and plus 40 to dexterity. There's just one problem with this weapon. You cannot carry this weapon over into another playthrough. I tried. It doesn't work. Whether on PC or on PlayStation, it does not matter. You can equip the weapon, and when you beat the game and you start up a new game, you think you're going to keep Thor's hammer? Nope. Nope, it just disappears from your inventory when you start a new playthrough. Basically, just like any belted items that you have in your inventory. Like, when it comes to the potions, like, sell all of your potions before the final cutscene plays, which you're able to do on PlayStation, because on PC, once you put the astral... You'll see here in a second. But yeah, cute little Easter egg with Thor's hammer. And that's it. Now, thankfully, as you're fighting Drak, you can go back to town if needed to stock up on potions and stuff like that or whatever. However, after you defeat Drak, everybody's frozen. No way. I did it! Yes, we got all the fucking shit today! All of it! Oh yeah, we got all the shit today. Game just froze. You know what that means what I gotta do? I gotta defeat Drak again. But thankfully I showed you guys everything that needed to be shown, which is fine. I love this game, but I hate this game at the same time so fucking much. It's like, come on, I just want to end the stream game. And I know about the glitch exhibition. I still gotta do that yet, too. This game really, really, really does not want me to just get shit done. It's like, I'm not going at your pace. Your pace is too slow. Way too slow. And if these games had a conscience, I'd tell it that more often. And it would need to be told that more often. But thankfully I saved just before I fought Drak. Which, that's not that bad. That's actually not that bad. You get to see me fight him again. I'll fucking do it again. I mean, the game wants me to do it again, so fine, I'll do it again. God.
And I saved right in front just before with Drock.
So thankfully, it's not that much work I have to do. But like I said, I just want to beat. I just want to get this done. Do some glitch exhibition. Go from there. Because with the glitch exhibition, I'll show off a few things. Pray that the RNG works and I'm not having to fucking just sit for 20 minutes just trying to get the right RNG. But it's whatever. Fine, I'll fight Drock again. Fine. Yeah. Cutscene, yada yada yada. Alright, let's lure these wyverns out again. Come on. 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 So come on. Fine, be stubborn. That wyvern came back. Hold on. Nope. Come on, Drax. Spawn another one. Come on. Come on.
I do not have enough mana.
Come on. Just stay away.
Please help.
Whoa.
Please help.
I said, whoa! Calm your tits!
Please help.
I said I'd do it again, and damn it, I'll defeat him again. And this is why it's a good thing to stock. I swear to God, I don't know this guy. Good to stock on healing potions. Okay. Safety save one more time. Pick up the gold, and obviously I'm not gonna go back and grab the dragon scale things again. I can just grind the gold and do the potions thing at the shop and go from there. I can easily just do that on my own time and grind my character. Because I'm definitely thinking about doing like the other difficulties in this game. Except if I'm gonna do it, outside of like at the beginning and introductions and stuff, I'm not gonna provide commentary. Like, I want it to be one of those things where, no, I just want to focus on playing the game, and that's all there is to it. That's useless. Okay, let's try this again. That's better. Okay, as I was saying before the game froze. So, none of the shopkeepers can't go to any of them. However, you can access them again once you put the astral hand in the monolith. Now, during this state, so on PC, once you put the astral hand in the monolith, no, like that's it. That's it. A character doesn't have to talk to you, it's just the game tells you that you're done. However, on the PS1 version, and only on the PS1 version, you can put the astral hand in, and you could quickly still go to any of the shops and do whatever business you gotta do. Without no questions asked. As long as none of the townsfolk talk to you. You can repair your weapons, you can, do the other things that you normally would have to do, and that's it. But, yeah. That's it. That's it. Thank you, Paul Cassette. Thank you to all these people who did this game. This game is childhood to a fucking T. I love it. But it's done. It's over. That's it. Now, there are extra things in this game. In fact, there's actually a music video. Sam Hauser. Oh wait, no, that's right, because of Take Two. That's right. That's the guy that's the Grand Theft Auto Rockstar and shit. Okay. Yeah. Again, they had to port the game to PlayStation. So that's credits, and that's it. If you have not beaten the game already, basically what you unlock the bonus and you unlock the extra skins I showed at the very beginning at part 1. But you get the option to watch all the cinematics, all 7 of them. There's a gallery, and I will actually go through just a little bit because I think some of these are a bit interesting. It's concept art for Darkstone that they did. Like a lot of concept art and other drawings and stuff like that, and I don't know, I think they look pretty good. It's small, there's only just a small handful of them. But it's not that bad. I'll admit the drawings are really, really good. Actually, some of them, when you really think about it, they look pretty badass. I will admit that. And the video clip. Now, I would love to play this video clip. I would love to play this song. But I can't because I'm not going to get yelled at by YouTube for copyright. No, seriously, I can't. I'm sorry. I don't want to take the risk. I don't want to get in trouble. But you can look it up. It's The Darkstone Will Shine by Audrin. Look up that song. It's good. It is a good song. And there's a whole music video, and that's what the video clip is. Yeah. A game that the public almost has never heard of. They actually made a music video for a song that was written as the game as the game's song. So that was Darkstone. I've been kind of sort of doing some work on the over 2,000 attribute points on each. 500 some mana, over 1,000 health. Although I gotta bump those numbers up a lot more. I gotta get those up by at least 7,000. And it can be done. Speaking of certain things, this is the wind down. I do want to thank everybody for tuning in and putting up with this insanity. That was at least a good 3.5 hour stream. However, there is a few things I am going to do real quick. I'm going to play on novice mode for the hell of it. And I'm loading it. Good example character. So obviously I'm overpowered for novice mode. I can kill every single enemy in like one hit. And yes, if you upgrade your character powerful enough, you could one-hit kill bosses. You could. Yeah, so this is my other character. As you can see, heavily overpowered. See, this is the example of what a character should be. And I got all 4 pages of spells, and they're all maxed. Thunder can be broken in terms of in terms of its damage output. This thing can hit. Thunder works best in large groups of enemies. Especially if you can upgrade it powerful enough to where on hero mode you can one-hit kill enemies like that. Oh. It becomes overpowered. But, yep, like I said, we're at the wind down. I'm turning the camera off at this point. But what I am going to do for the last couple of minutes left on stream, since this is the wind down, I promised I would do a glitch exhibition. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to showcase some glitches in this game. Thankfully, we got the farm quest right out of the gate. So I am more than happy to show off probably the most broken-ish glitch in this game. And I mentioned it before, and now I get to actually showcase it. I get to show you guys. I'm excited. I'm trying to think. I think it was Mass Nightmare who showed it before. I think. Don't quote me on this. But there is another that if it has not been showcased, then I'm proud to showcase it for you guys today. Yeah, I'm gonna show you the easily one of the more broken glitches of this game, which is crystal duping. So it's basically copying. It's exactly what you think it is. It's copying the crystal and doing the things that you need to do. So, like when I put the crystals in their pedestal things, as long as the game recognizes that there are 7 crystals, like that all the slots are filled with crystals. It doesn't matter if it's all 7 separate crystals or if it's just all one of the same crystal. It still reconstructs the time orb. This is actually a very good example considering it's the Crystal of Wisdom, and yes, I have done this on my own time before. I was able to reconstruct the time orb with nothing but crystals of wisdoms. Nothing but crystals of wisdom. Let's find our... Let's find our level entrance and quickly do this quest. Because this goes to show you how when you get a character that's overpowered like mine, yeah, these quests are nothing. These are nothing quests. These are all fetch quests. Just, you know, hey, go down to this dungeon and go fetch the crystal. What do I have to do? Nothing. Just go down to the bottom floor and get the crystal. Don't even need that. Yeah, like I said, I showed you guys the I showed you guys the mace trick, obviously. And now that I actually have a powerful enough character, I can properly show you guys crystal duping. But just give me a few minutes. Unfortunately, I still have to set myself up to be able to do it. So that involves having to play the quest, for the most part, as normal. Don't need that, but I do need Calib's amulet. Easy level. But yeah, I will at least say I do want to thank everyone for those who had tuned in, for those who end up watching this. I'm glad that I was able to effectively showcase this game. At least the first time around. Like I said, I'm thinking on maybe doing the rest of the difficulties. However, what I'm going to do is... For Expert and Master mode, I will play as my Grumpy Kerber character. Just one hit kill the boss. And, Hero and Legend mode, I'm probably going to play as Nyeh. Only because it's already overpowered. I don't have to struggle. It's not going to be that hard. I know technically it's cheating because it's overpowered character, but I don't care. I don't care. I want to have fun. I already had fun. I started a brand new character for this playthrough. And and honestly, part of me didn't even want to, but then again, I started doing the streams and stuff, and it's like, I might as well. And I just had to showcase this game. But yeah, now comes the fun part. Crystal duping. There are a couple of other quests that this does work. Let's see. Well, first let's actually do it, and then I'll explain what other quests. Sorry, I'm thinking a little bit ahead of myself. 3.5 hours of streaming. Okay. So, preferably, your theft skill has to be... I think the earliest I was able to attempt it was like level 5 or level 6. But the higher the better. So, this is what crystal duping looks like. So, you have Dracus. Now, obviously, if you kill him, he drops the crystal.
Fail. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. No. No.
Oh, no. I have no idea why he's saying that, because it doesn't matter. So, I have the crystal. Now, if I kill him again, get the second crystal. However, I'm going to save. And I'm going to reload it. Now, what I found out is that this works a lot better if you are invisible. You can do it without being invisible, sure, but this is why I say you have to have a very high theft, a very high theft skill level. With invisibility, I would say at least level 5 or level 6. And if you're not invisible, at least level 7. Yeah, unfortunately, crystal duping is not something you can really do until you have an already strong, powerful character. But the way a crystal duping works is you steal from them, you pick up the crystal, you know if you kill them again, they're going to drop another crystal. Save your game. Reload it. When it comes to the enemy being, Alright, okay. Alright, we're back. We're back. Sorry about that. Definitely not used to streaming for a long period of time. But, obviously, reload the save, and it drops another crystal. You can pick it up. I have 2 crystals of wisdom. Now, you can kill him, drops the other one, you get 3. As long as you pick up the crystal, save your game, reload the save, you can keep doing this, and you can get unlimited crystals. No, you cannot sell them as if it's like an artifact. Unfortunately, that it doesn't work like that. I've tried doing that by stocking up on like extra crystals and trying to see if I could sell them for like, I don't know, like a bajillion gold or something. But no. So that's basically crystal duping. So first quest, and I got 3 crystals of wisdom. However, for speedrunning, you could do this, but you still have to get at least 4 crystals before you could do anything else, really. Well, you have to get 4 crystals so it can transition into night, so the monolith comes up, so then you can be able to beat the game. Like I said, I did it the one time I sped run this game, and with loading times, I beat it in under an hour. And obviously, it was not with this character, it was with a different character. But needless to say that it can be done. It can be done to beat this game in less than an hour. It can be done. However, on that note, I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Seriously, you guys are awesome. Next week, I'm going to be doing another endurance in Forza Motorsport 6. And then after that, I'm going to go from there. And we're going to do a 10th episode special. But otherwise then, until next time, actually have myself on. Until next time, you can find me, like I said, on Tumblr and Discord at Grumpy Kerber. Don't forget to check out the other parts of this Let's Play if you have not already. And I want to thank everybody for tuning in. This was awesome. I enjoyed playing this game through again. I was not expecting to die as much as I did there, but it was better than splitting this into 4 parts. So, thank you to everyone who tuned in. You guys have a good rest of your evening. Have a good rest of your day. Whatever. And I will see you guys next week on Grumpy's Gaming Garage. See you later.